Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to myself. Welcoming myself back here. We're gonna do another hour. So let's jump right in here. Did some setting up, got some stuff set up. A little light. It's a little bit brighter on my face. It's totally, this light's crooked on the wall though. You can tell looking at it. It's gonna drive me insane. I'll have to fix it later. Alright, timer set, 66 minutes. Let's do it. Alright, we began fixing enter continue text active bug. Okay, so let's finish that. So we had some theories about what was causing it, but I don't want to speculate. Let's just add in a log. So let's do Control Shift F, and we'll find def and enter text function. Yeah, so I think we should, we gotta add the log here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to go to none. So I think an easy way to do this, instead of having a bunch of printouts over and over while, you know, it's going up, the timer that is, I think it would be better if we simply had a log once the timer hits 10 seconds. So like the opposite. So we'll call the custom logger traceback print log function, and then this is going to be, let's open in the wrong tab. So let's go over here and put game pi, and then we can put the game object 1 ID. And then we can put enter continue text active equals false, or rather, we'll just say 10 seconds passed. How about that? So if we don't see this, then we know that 10 seconds has not passed, and basically unless we hit enter, we should see it every time. You know what I mean? That's pretty straightforward, right? And that means if we're not seeing it, then the 10 seconds has not actually passed, and it's prematurely breaking out of that. My code installation appears to be corrupt. Please reinstall. Okay. Interesting. Let's just not reinstall, and we'll just open it. I mean, we'll close it and open it again. Oh, I got some good news today. A little bit of good news. Got told that we'll be driving. I'll be driving at work. Making way more money than what I normally make. Was on the fence about whether or not we were actually going to be driving, because it was kind of slow, predicted to be a slower season. But turns out, hey, we will be on the road, so that's good news for me. really good news. Still gonna work preload, and then you go in at like 4 or 5, or and then you work till like 8 or 9, like in the truck, and you will drive and deliver the trucks. Get a lot of hours like that, you'll be so fucking tired at the day. You would go work hours, but you make a lot of money on those, like mega bucks. Anyway, let's jump into this and solve this problem. So we have our custom logger log. We're gonna multiply our oops, did something wrong. Now we're gonna copy that. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna run the server. Then we're gonna run the clients. So that's what you're supposed to do, right? And now client again, but we're gonna put it. So that's just how we do. Right, so we should always see this 10-second timer where. Ooh, what's going on? No. Why did it not immediately alt tab to it? It usually immediately alt tabs. Okay, there we go. It's working. It's working. And so what we can do easily to find what we're looking for, we're not gonna like pause or anything. We're just gonna literally do a little playthrough, and I'm not gonna worry about watching the outputs in real time. I'm just gonna go back and review them after the fact to see if we are indeed getting. Oh, and I'm hitting enter prematurely. I wasn't supposed to do that. Oops. So yeah, no enter. Don't hit the enter button. That's what we're testing. We're testing to see whether or not it's prematurely exiting the progression text display before it should, even when we don't hit enter. If you hit enter, it's you know, it's like, oh, we read it, we're just gonna hit enter, it's gonna go away. Now there goes my light falling down off the wall because I just set it up and it's not stuck all the way. I gotta redo it. I'll do that after. It's no big deal. It's a nice warm light. I like the color of it. It's very Christmassy. Alright, so we're gonna draw from the stack. Okay, he drew a 2. Damn, I hit enter. See? Fuck. I'm so used to hitting enter, bro. I can't, like, not. It's really hard not to. Shit. Let's stick this back on the wall and take the plug out. I think that's why it's fallen. It's got the charger. It's got a little charge cord. Probably didn't need to charge it. I just figured I would. Alright, so now let's play cards. And it's okay that we hit enter before, because really what we're looking for is at these sections where it's problematic. And I think the one that was definitely most problematic was the one we're going to see in a minute after it's done sorting these cards, and then I tell it I don't want to use any of the wild cards. So like this one right here, see that? That was definitely not 10 seconds. That was totally not 10 seconds. I'm actually going to look at that. So let's go over here and let's look for progression text. So the last one was the super long one, at least one of your, well, no, I'm sorry, it's actually going to be the one before that, number 12, You have some attempted melds that do not pass the rule requirements, blah 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 blah. You can never get, yeah. Yep, that's the one. And let's see if for temp meld, why is it? Why is it showing this? Where is this from? I don't remember this. I added that? Interesting. Well, I don't need that anymore. I don't know. I don't like remember ever seeing that. It's weird that I just noticed that. So, yeah, we don't need that log. Okay, so other than that little distraction, let's go back and look at this. We have Jay, you have some attempted melds that do not pass the rule requirements. These attempted melds have only one card in them or have two. Yeah. Alright, so are we getting that output that we should? Which is, okay, so we still have some other, look at this. Card found in meld is equal to false. We have some old logs here that apparently I did not remove. Same here with this one. Make sure I'm just removing logs and not actual code. Okay, yeah, so this was all associated with debugging that. Alright, so we have number 12, which is our culprit, and we're gonna be looking for 10 seconds. So let's see. Let's look for 10 seconds. Alright, so we have 5 of them. And this one's close to the bottom. Let's see where was. So you don't have line numbers here, so we have to. Fucking light fell again. I'll have to glue it or something. It's not gonna stay apparently. One of them stays and the other one just is like, nope. Probably got some fuzz on it or some shit. Oh well, I'll super glue it later. So we have, okay, so it's close to the bottom. This is like almost at the bottom, so I think this, and then let's look for 10 seconds. So it's 783. Last one. This is the last one. Okay. Oh, so we do have it saying that the 10 seconds has passed. Is this actually the one though? Like, is this the one I'm thinking it is? It can't be. Okay. Where? No, it is. Look. $13. And then 12. Yep, and then there it is. 10 seconds has passed. No way, dude. How could it say that 10 seconds has passed when 10 seconds has not passed? Oh, it is a perceived delay. I think I see now. Watch this. Okay, so let's put... This is a perceived delay. Watch. Yeah. Okay. I see what's happening. It's because of our 3-second delay thing. I understand now. So let me prove this. We'll move this over here. And we're gonna play cards again. Alright, we're gonna pick all of them. And then we're going to click play selected cards. We're gonna go back over here. So there it goes. Yeah. It's a perceived delay. If you watch the output over here, it's behind. So let's click play selected cards. Now it's gonna have bam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, okay, that one didn't actually. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was it. No, I wasn't tripping. Yeah, that was it. Let me show you one more time. I know it's probably confusing, but I understand now. I see what's going on. This is actually super simple. Okay, I understand. This is fine. Yeah, so it's a perceived delay. It's a delay, but it's not like really delayed. It's a fake delay. Or I mean, it's not prematurely exiting. It's just perceived that way. So let's demonstrate. This is the last time. We're gonna click play cards, and we're gonna play everything just like we did again. Okay, play cards. Now we're gonna click all of them. Alright, now we're gonna click play selected cards, and as soon as I click this, watch the terminal. The terminal's gonna process the data way before, because it's from the server side. So the server side makes the data point change, sends it over the network. Now this window of the game is the client window. It's being transferred through the network. We're on the local machine. All the clients are on this local machine on the same computer and the server, but it's mimicking a real server-client relationship. So it is transferring the data, you know, over a network. It is transferring it to the client. It's not just like a local machine transfer. It's actually like a network transfer. And what's happening is the data gets processed on the server side. You see it happen in the terminal. As soon as I click play select cards, you're going to see the output in the terminal. And that's going to have that progression text, the really long one, in it included. You'll see it because it's going to be highlighted in the terminal window. And then as soon as this terminal action happens, you start counting. I have my timer going, so it'll help me to count accurately. And by the time the client receives that data and then applies it after like the 3-second delay, so you have the point of the data change, then you have data transfer, which probably takes, I don't know, a second, and then you have a 3-second delay on the client side for a an application buffer, so that's 4 seconds, and then it might take another ½ second to actually process that data and then display it. So that's like 4.5. So then you're only going to see like 5.5 seconds roughly, or something like that, you know, give or take a second, of the actual progression text display before it disappears. And since it's such a long progression text, it really feels like it goes by quickly. So let's go ahead. We're going to click play select cards on 3. 1, 2, 3, bam. Okay, so there's boom. Okay, 1, 2, 3. It was even faster because before it even sends the progression text, it starts the timer. So it's even like another second ahead of it. So then it's more like 6.5 seconds. So then you're only getting like 3.5 seconds of display, because of just the sequence of events and the delay system and network transfer. It all comes to turn that 10 seconds into 3.5 seconds, and the fact that the progression text is so long, it takes longer to package that data and to send it over the network and for it to be received. So the whole process takes longer. That bigger data set that it sends, plus it's also transferring these appends, like the other card movement data and stuff. So there's a lot of that, and it all gets processed like in the same little window. So it's just like the timer starts on this end, you know, but it really doesn't start on the client side until 6 or 7 seconds later. So it's a synchronization issue. So as far as that goes, like, how do we fix it? Since we've pinpointed the problem, how exactly do we fix this? Okay, so we don't need that open anymore, and let's maximize this and solution. And fix these, make them alright. You can Control Shift F and get rid of this. Well, I know one thing that would at least somewhat fix the problem, and that is removing the 3-second delay. The only thing about that is, if we remove the 3-second delay, that means we are going to encounter bugs in the future, and that delay basically acts like a pause. You know, it allows us to read live logs with small breaks between each output, so we can pinpoint the sequence of events a little more accurately. So I think I don't really want to do that. I don't want to disable that because I kind of wanted the delay system still until I'm completely done, like, debugging. You know, basically right before I'm completely done with the project, I was gonna leave the delay system in. But I probably could just go ahead and get rid of it, and everything would probably just be okay. As far as debugging, I don't know though. I don't want to make a dumb decision and get rid of it and then find out I need it, because it's not. It's only a problem for a few different areas. Maybe we should just remove the timer altogether and only allow them to hit enter. You know what I mean? Like, what if we just removed the enter continue timer completely? But that would mean whenever people were playing against each other in the game, that they would also have to, like, wait. You know, like, it would ruin the other player experience, the active player, if the other player is like AFK or whatever. I mean, technically though, we could just say that gives them, the active player, a free win. We can make it to where, like, if they're AFK for 60 seconds and they don't hit enter or anything, then the active player automatically wins, and it, you know, puts a win on their record. So it's like, oh hey, the game, he did go AFK, but at least now I got another win on record. I don't know. There's a few different solutions I could implement. There's the removing the 3-second delay, which would extend it by, you know, like 3 seconds. We could modify it such that for those really long strings, like those specific instances, we would extend the timer. You know, we could extend the timer. We could just extend the timer to 15 seconds instead of 10, so that, you know, if a player went AFK, they had to go take a piss or whatever, and then they come back, and it allows the game to progress, and them to be like, oh shit, what happened? Well, you know, you can pretty much deduce what happened for the most part if you're looking, you know, at the screen of the current state of the game, but it allows that other player to still progress. But actually, that's not true. Like, the concept is flawed because the current player is the one who gets the progression text, the other player doesn't see those progression texts. So we really want the player to see their progression texts. So yeah, I think honestly just removing the wait timer, the like the 10-second timer altogether, not the data application delay, but the enter continue text active 10 seconds. I think we should just remove that, and this is how it was before, where you have to hit enter to progress to the next progression text, so that you won't ever miss anything, unless you're AFK so long that you like forfeit the game, which if we added that feature in, that would, you know, be a thing. But realistically, I'm not really worried about that. I would rather just fix it such that we didn't have the 10-second timer. That would still allow us to delay the game, and it would also fix some of the wonky, too fast text that pops up and then disappears. So in that vein, if we removed the 10-second timer, it would make just as much sense to remove the delay timer as well, because if we used the enter continue text active as basically those pause points to break down live logging when we're debugging, then it would function in that same way, if we remove the 10-second timer associated with the enter continue text active. So I think we'll do that. We'll just two birds with one stone. We'll get rid of the delay timers altogether, the 10-second and the 3-second data application timer. And that's like two things actually that was on our, well, yeah, that's two tasks from our list that we would take care of at once. So yeah, I think we're gonna do that. So things to do. Let's move this to current issues, or current issue, and we're gonna go up here, 9/18/24. How did that happen? Oh, that's when I discovered that problem. Okay, so that was a while back. Okay, so let's just put source of bug verified. .13/24. Delay due to server side to client side plus 3-second data application delay causes only 3 to 4 seconds of the 10 seconds to show. Solution, 10-second timer, enter continued text active time, auto enter timer, and then another solution is also remove 3-second data application timer delay timer altogether, since no auto enter continue text active would function as a way to pause for live log during debugging. Okay, so let's copy this, and now we're going to paste that because that's going to be our new task. put enter continue text active 10-second timer removal. Alright, and then this is going to be the 3-second data. Well, actually, we already have that as a where is it? Receive note. Remove 3 seconds data apply buffer. There we go. So let's grab this and reduce delay time. So this is actually a third task. There we go. So we're knocking out really 3 tasks at once, which is really cool. So we'll paste that one in. Oops, we already had our pound space. So first, let's get rid of the 3-second one because that's going to be easy to fix. Alright, so let's do the first one. Let's get rid of the enter continue text active removal. And first, let's put that we found source of bug for enter continue text active progression text short display SS to CS timer delays. Decided to remove 10-second enter continue text active timer and 3-second data application. Let's copy this and just put that we are 620, 621, or actually begin removing both timers and associated logic. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go back over here, and we have the 10-second timer right here in enter continue text function. So we'll copy this entire function first, and we can actually get rid of these logs before we do that. And go back up here, copy this whole function. Now we're going to go to files and open up old feature storage. This old feature, we don't need it, we already know, we tested after. And now we'll paste this function. Change the date. File, this is coming from game, right? Yeah. Lines 210 to 224. So let's change that. 210, 224. Removed 10 seconds. Enter continue. Okay, so now that that's done, we can get rid of all that code, and we have the backup just in case we were to break something. So we don't have the timer anymore. So this can actually just be pass now. And this should just be pass as well. So let's review. So now we have enter continued text function taking game object 1, game object 2 default to none. Game object 1 enter continued text active gets set to true. It's going to have at least that one. Okay. Then if game object 2 is equal to none, pass to the function. While game object text active is equal to true, we pass, and then as long as the client hasn't yet hit enter, it will remain true, which means it will remain paused basically. Whenever they hit enter, it will change enter continued text active to false, which is going to break out of the while loop and move to the next game. We have else, which is if there are 2 game objects passed to the function. Also set game object 2's enter continued text active to true, while game 1 is equal to true, or game object 2 text active is equal to true. One of them have not hit enter yet, then just keep it paused. Yeah, and it passes just the same. So until both of them hit enter, it will not progress. So there we go. Now we have to check this comment and make sure it's accurate. Okay, so this is going to be changed because we don't have 10 seconds anymore. We'll move on from the client side. Enter continued text active equals false. Alright, there we go. So now let's test it and make sure we didn't break it. So we'll run the client and then the other client. Back over here. And now it's it should not progress like at all. It's just not gonna progress until, didn't he enter his name already? Yeah. So why is this one not progressing, I wonder? So there's an issue now with that. So that's still wonky. We need to fix it, but it looks like the delay is gone and it's working, but we're gonna have to modify the logic a little bit now, because with the timer removed, the 10-second delay thing, it's the progression is a little bit like staggered. It needs the logic needs to be changed, and I'm pretty sure I know what needs to be done there. Alright, so let's just make a little playthrough and make sure that section that was moving too fast has been remedied. So we got a 4 and a 7. Alright. And I'm hitting enter too quick to really see if it's, you know, I mean, of course the timer's removed. Like I deleted the only code associated with it, but let me just like sit here for a second and make sure it doesn't progress on its own. So it's been like 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. Yeah, so it's not progressing, it's just waiting right here. And that's what we wanted to do. Okay, so we do still have our 3-second delay, as you can see. That card skipping across the screen needs to be fixed. And here we go. There it goes. Pretty smooth. Yeah, so the cards seem like they're moving rather smooth now compared to what they were before. I don't know if that might not be true. It just seems that way. Okay, so this one was really fast, remember? because it had to deal all the hand cards first, and the timer like started at this point when it started to deal those cards. That's why by the time it started displaying this on the client side, it was like 8 seconds in. So you only saw this progression text for like a second and a half, 2 seconds, and it was gone. But now, as you can see, it doesn't progress. It stays the same until you hit enter. Now I hit enter, and after the 3-second delay, there it goes. It's going to progress. Same thing with this. This one, it's just going to wait for us to hit enter now. So I think that's apparent. We definitely seem to have fixed that issue. But we are going to have to make some adjustments to the progression text logic because it's just not showing up properly. It's really how one client is tied to the other as far as progressing. The logic needs to be tidied up a bit there, because sometimes the other client's progression text should like change to say this, and it just like stays stuck on some irrelevant display progression text from like the last section. So at the very least, it should be like cleared, and there should just be no progression text in those cases. So we can figure out an easy fix for that. Alright, so this is the last thing we're going to do as far as the test. So we're going to get this really long display, and let's see that. Are they moving? Now they're moving strangely to me. Okay, so there's the really long one, and you can see it's just waiting for me to hit enter. It's not gonna skip through it anymore. So if I had to go take a piss, like I actually do have to go take a piss, and then come back, it's still gonna be at this point, and then I hit enter, boom, there you go. Alright, so after it puts these back, I'm going to kill the script, and so yeah, we did it. Oh, we have to do this for the last wild card. No, we're not going to use it. We're not going to use either one. My dude had a good hand. Pretty good hand. He was close to Canasta already. He could have had a 5 card. He just needed a 1 more 10 and a... Well, 4 and 3, yeah, he needed 1 more 10 and 1 more wild card. He could have got a Canasta. Can't remember if it's 3 max or 2 per meld. Wild cards per meld. Can't remember the rule of the actual game anymore. I mean, people have different rules, but alright, so it works. Cool, we fixed it. Let's put that in a devlog. Removed, 10 seconds, timer, and tested via game test. Everything worked perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but you know. Alright, so now let's remove the 3-second timer. I gotta take a piss, I'll be right back, and then we'll remove that, and that's probably gonna be the last thing I do for the day. So. Be right back. Alright, bros. And lady bros. Alright, let's finish this. So we're done with progression. We don't need that file open anymore, and we also don't need game. And now we can also close card. We don't need that one open. We don't need to look for a list anymore, so we can get rid of that as well. And now what we're going to do is remove this 3-second delay system. And we have to go into, what is it, server? Server and client are going to be the two files that deal with this. So let's start in client, I suppose. So this is replacing with above section. This was the old counter system. Yeah, we can get rid of that. I already know that. That's dead. We don't need it. Okay, here we go. So here it is. Here's the 3-second delay system. And we're just gonna copy this first and move it to old feature storage before we modify it, just in case we mess it up in the process. I think the only part that actually needs to be copied is let's see. The only thing that needs to be copied is right here. Yeah, I don't think we. That's it. That's all we have to remove. That's so easy. Why did I think there was more to that? We don't need it. We're gonna get rid of it. Does this also mean we can get rid of received time? I don't know. You know, we could leave it and have it as like a testing option branch of code. You know, we could do that, or we could just get rid of it altogether. I'm just gonna get rid of it altogether. So yeah, we're just gonna copy it and not gonna think about it anymore. Go to, oh, I have old new features. I made it into a file. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize I did that. Anywho, let's paste that, and we'll get our div. And we like to have 4 spaces between each one. It's just kind of the convention that I use. I find 4 is enough. And it messed up the indentation, so let's fix that. There we go. This is, we'll copy this line right here, which lets us know when it was removed and from which file, and this is going to be from client pi, and we don't want that capitalized, and from lines 590 to 601. Whoa. Yeah, 590 to 601. And this is going to be removing the 3-second data application delay timer. Alright, so now we can go Control Home, Control Shift End, copy, backspace, and now we're going to delete this file because I didn't realize we already had it in its own little folder right here. So now we'll go to old feature storage, and there we go. So I still have this. Looks like we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines between each. I mean, 5 looks even better. It looks impeccable. So, oh, see, I already have like the template set up. So we just paste that in. And since this is 2 separate instances, we'll get rid of that. There we go. Okay, cool. We did it. As you can see, I like things nice and tidy. I like them a certain way, and I think it does matter for there to be conformity in your styling and everything. It's just nice to have it like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and fix it. And by fixing it, I mean we're gonna remove the timer, so we don't need an earliest time anymore. We don't need to compare that against that time. We don't need, well, this is going to be modified. Create to applies, which is a subset of the receive cow tupeless. Used to apply data from the receive cow tupeless. And we'll just leave it at that. Very simple. And check save it in 3 seconds. So now we're not going to wait 3 seconds anymore. We shouldn't have to, because the perfect data exchange system ensures we're not going to apply anything out of order. So we don't have to check this. Don't need that at all. And now we just have this. And we're not going to have this else section because so now let's review this and make sure it's actually correct though. So we need to fix this indentation. Oh, that's Zelda, that's gonna be fucking copyrighted. God damn it. Probably. Son of a bitch. Maybe not though, because it's not the official. I don't know, Nintendo like is big killing people on copyright right now. I think they're like going after everybody, dude. Nintendo is going savage as far as like copywriting and all that. The Power World stuff, the Pokemon. Okay, so If the length of the current client received cal tupless is greater than 0, check to see if there's any data waiting to be applied. Okay, so if there's anything waiting to be applied, we create the apply list. We iterate through that list. We get the sender ID, and then we use the sender ID to determine the tup index to compare apply counter against expect counter. Current client ID is equal to 1. We see if the tup4 is equal to the current client's expect counter, which is the incoming apply counter, to make sure they match. If they do a match, we we append it to the apply list. Then we increment the expect counter, and then same thing, if ID is 2, we just check a different tup index and use the C2 expect counter and do the same exact thing, increment the C2. And after we have iterated through the receive cal tupless, so we only will add it to the apply list if it's next in line. But if the data was applied out of, well, if for whatever reason we get like 5 before 4, so it should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's say we get 1, 2, 3, and then we get 5, and then 4. So in the receive cal tupless, the expect counter is going to be 4, but tup4 would be 5. So in that case, we wouldn't append it to the apply list, and then we would go to the next one, which the tup4 in this case would be 4, which is what we are expecting. That one would get appended to the apply list, but since we already had 4 and 5, technically we could have just sorted that list and then ran this for loop, because that would allow for us to, be more efficient. Like, we're not just gonna pass over 5 and then go a whole nother loop around just to add 5 in, you know what I mean? And when all we could do is just switch 4 and 5 and put it in order, and then as it iterates it would already be in order, so 4, 5, 6, whatever. As long as it didn't skip like 4, 6, 7, it would in that case it would only append 4. It wouldn't append 6 and 7, which is fine. Obviously you can't apply 6 and 7 till you get number 5. But in the case that it is out of order, which could happen, I'm pretty sure that technically could happen. I think we actually do sort it beforehand, but I'm not positive. So I'm going to add a node here, and I'm going to say section 11, 13, 24 realized. Guys, forgive me. Like, how do you spell realized right now? Is that we need to sort this received cal list. Is it already done? In case 5, 4, 6, 7 would not add 5 to apply list, but if we sort, we'll add 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, very straightforward. That's simple, and we'll check that next time. We're gonna so we iterate the cal tupless, we apply into the apply list, then we iterate through the apply list. Bada bing, bada boom. Deal. So we're gonna put their quitting here. Just put stopped here. 8, 11, 4. Stopped here, and I'll just node. That's it. We'll actually put to do. Isn't that what you do? Yeah. To do. Need to logic in remove the timer as was. Okay, cool. So we did really good at 47 seconds left, so we finished right on time. Honestly, I did not think I was gonna make it through that. I was like just so tired, but man, I gotta get in another hour. I'm going to bed early tonight, boys. I'm gonna get at least 8 hours of sleep tonight. I swear, I have to, because the caffeine just wasn't doing it for me today. You know what I mean? I drink a large coffee and didn't work. Okay, so remove the 10-second timer. Tested via game test. Everything worked perfectly. Remove the app. And then we'll put stopped at line number 611 and alright, dudes. So we're done. Timer shut. Thank you. And then we're gonna stage commit and push our changes. Oh yeah, let's test real quick just to say we did it and see if it works, or see if we broke it. Hopefully we didn't break it. Oh, so there's no delay. See that? See that, guys? Look at. Well, there's no delay on the client side, so like on the server side there's still gonna be some delay, but boom, look at that. It's like crisp. There's not a delay. Bam, it just happens. There's a delay on the server side, so it's 50% removed, and you can already tell it just moves faster. It is better. Boom, look at that. Whoa, he got a 7, he got a 5. Your boy with the 7-1, because 7 is greater than 5. Duh. And you can just see, look how fast, see how much faster we can progress through the game without, and this is just half the timer. We removed the timer on the client side, but the server side still has it. And you can just see it's so much smoother, and this is what it's supposed to be. Delay timer in. So the communication issues, order, but since we fixed that system, we were really just keeping it around to slow the game down for debugging purposes. But as you can see, since we have the enter continue text active, timer removed, this is basically a way to pause the game. Now we hit enter, and yeah, it just waits for you to hit enter. So if you need to review the logs, you can come over here while it's waiting and look at your terminal. And when you're, want to speed through it, you don't have to wait 3 seconds for everything to happen. It's going to happen immediately. And like I said, it's still got the timer on the server side. We're going to remove that next time because I'm quitting like right now. I'm just going to click play cards, and see how much faster it is even with the server side timer. Once we remove the server side timer, it's gonna be like instant, like bam, as soon as it's boom 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 boom, there's gonna be no delay, not like you're running on Windows 95 or whatever. We're going from Windows 95 to Windows 20. So click no. See how much faster. This is gonna cut our game test playthrough time in more than in half. It's gonna cut it like by 75%. Give or take. Bam. It's just so much better, dude. Perfect. Alright, so we didn't break it. We fixed it. We made it better. I'm really happy. Let's just put that we did 1x game test and everything worked great without the timers. Cool. And now we have to stage and commit and push our changes. So we'll put 648 to 652. We're gonna stage these changes. Let's get our times right. So we started back at 542, and then we're gonna stop at 652. 10. So that's an hour and 6 plus an hour and 10, so that's 2.25 minutes. Now we're copying this, and then we're going to push our changes. So let's go to terminal. We're going to cd out, cd dot dot // dot dot or backslash, whichever one. Now we're going to do get branch to ensure we're on the right branch. Now we are. We're going to do get add dot to add everything. Get commit -m. Double paste in our 19 files changed, 189 insertions, 229 deletions. So we removed some lines, which is great. If you didn't know, that removing lines is better than adding lines. So basically, if you're a programmer, if you delete your job, it's better. Makes sense. It's more efficient. Alright, so we pushed successfully to the GitHub cloud, the magic place, and now we can do a local backup. So we're gonna jump over here to projects, Canasta. We're gonna copy this shit and go to the backup, delete it, listen to our nice, soft, relaxing, classical music. It's very peaceful. We're gonna paste it in after a second of just being brain dead. Now we're gonna jump into it. Just click devlog and hit it as fast as I can. And we did thing. I'm gonna rename it to today's date. We're done. See you later. See you next time. Maybe. Probably not. If I don't, I don't. And step closer. Actually, like 3 steps closer. That was a big change. Just a quick glance, real quick. How many tasks do we have left? Missing issues. Well, actually, this. Oh, we forgot to fix this. I'm an idiot. Enter continue takes 10 seconds. We got rid of that, but we need to. Need to remove in. Well, actually, I didn't need to do this, but it's good practice to always update your things to do along with everything else. But as far as our current issue, after we finish this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pressing issues. Let's say an hour a piece. So you're looking at 9 more hours at work, and then another like 10 or so from the non-pressing. So about 19 more hours.